Hey everybody, Don Georgievich here, and today I want to teach you how to learn something new. And what I want to do is give you a framework of 3 simple steps that I use when I want to learn a new skill. And if you're anything like me, you have a burning desire to learn more about something new. And it could be anything. I mean, it could be gardening, could be cooking, investing, starting a business, playing an instrument, doing yoga. Whatever it is you're interested in. Now, I believe that everyone has a desire to learn new things, but some people, they just don't do anything about it. And maybe you know what I mean. Maybe you've been there before. I mean, it might be more of a wish for some people, but a burning desire for others. Now, I'm committed to self-improvement. I love pushing myself and bettering myself. But there have been many times when I wanted to learn more about something, but I didn't do anything about it. Maybe you can relate to that. I mean, it may as well have been a wish for me. But there are other times where there was no stopping me. And I learned that new skill, no matter what it was. But even if it's just a wish for you, that just means you're interested. And you're not totally committed. And that's okay. But what I want to do is show you how to learn new things and the process that I go through. And hopefully, when you can see how I do it, you'll be able to apply that same framework in your life so that you can get the result that you want. Because wishing for that new skill or knowledge isn't going to get you there. Now, if you're interviewing for a job, they might ask you, how do you learn new things? Now, I'm not going to cover this topic as an interview question, but as a framework that you can use to learn new things. And now, if you were asked this question in a job interview, you would simply describe the framework that you use to learn new things, whether it's the one that I share with you today or your own version. Now, learning new things is both easier than it's ever been, and it's also harder than it's ever been. And I know that sounds a bit of like a contradiction, but it's easier today because of all the limitless resources you have at your disposal. I mean, there's so much free information on the internet where people are willing to show you how to do something. I mean, simply because they just want to share how they did it. And there's no end in sight to that information. I mean, you could easily find 100 experts on virtually any topic who are willing to teach you something. So that alone makes it easy and hard, on who to decide to watch. But the flip side is you have limitless choices too, which makes deciding what you want to learn that much harder. I mean, do I want to do this? Do I want to do that? I mean, maybe you have 10 things that you want to learn, but you're not sure which one to start with. Plus, our attention spans have been reconditioned to be much shorter than they used to be. I mean, no one wants to watch a 5-hour training video to learn a new skill. I mean, no one wants to invest that much time in something because they might miss out on something else. Now, I mean, it's impossible to compress 5 hours of training into 5 minutes. It just doesn't work. But that's what the internet has done to us. And it seems like no one wants to invest any serious amount of time on anything. I mean, you can only scratch the surface in 5 minutes, which means you'll never get a good understanding of that topic. So here's what I do when I want to learn something new. Now, the first question that I ask myself is why? Why do I want this? Why do I want to learn this? What is the benefit of it? What will it do for me? How will it help me grow? I mean, if I don't have a big enough why, then it's just a wish for me. So before I act on learning something new, I need a big reason of why I want to do that. I mean, let's say you have a list of 5 things that you want to learn. Write them all down and determine the benefits of those and prioritize them. But this is the most crucial part, because if your why is not big enough, it's not strong enough, and you're not 100% serious about it, you'll never follow through. You'll dabble with it and you'll put it to the side. Now, the second question I ask myself is, who? Who is the best at what I want to learn? So if I'm interested in learning a new cooking skill, I'll look up the best chefs to see how they do it. If I want to learn how to run a marathon, I'll find the best athletes and study them. If I want to start a business, I might look at some of the great entrepreneurs like Mark Cuban and study everything that they do. The key here is finding the best person who is the best at what you want to learn and then modeling them. You want to compress decades into days. It might take you 10 years to go down the same road as Mark Cuban, and all the experience and all his ups and downs. But if you just studied him, read his books, watched his videos, you could save yourself years, and learn literally almost everything about him. I mean, you still have to apply it, but at least you'll be applying proven strategies. But the key here is modeling, not copying what they do, but modeling them. Look at what they do, figure out how that applies to you, and then, once you start digging into one expert and how they do it, you'll learn of how other experts and how they do it, and then you'll want to explore and model them as well. Now, at this stage, you're just learning and you're gathering knowledge. The next step is immersion. This is the most important one, and it's where most people fail. Immersion means that you are 100% committed to achieving the result you're looking for. I mean, every day you are relentlessly focused on studying the experts. If you're learning something new, you should plan to totally immerse yourself every day for at least 30 days. I mean, anything less than you're dabbling. And if you're dabbling, you're going to lose sight of your goal and you're going to quit. And the last step is application. This is where you hardwire your new skills into your nervous system. I mean, you need to apply what you learned or you'll never be able to go deep with it. You'll understand it intellectually, but not cognitively, which means you'll never be able to explain it to someone so that they can understand it. You'll never be able to teach it. I mean, this is the hardest part, but you need to find a way to do it. Up to this point, you came in with a big why of why you wanted to do it. And then you found and studied the best people, you modeled them, and now you need to put it into action. This brings to mind an old Chinese proverb where the journey of 1,000 miles begins with the first step. You need to begin. I mean, maybe your goal was to learn something new so that you could teach it to other people. And to apply that, you need to find some people that you need to teach it to. And that might be hard at first, but start with one person and then teach it to them, and then look for another, and soon you'll be teaching 10 people. Or you could make YouTube videos like I'm doing right now that teach people how to do something. I mean, you just have to start. And when I started making YouTube videos, I thought they were pretty bad. But I had a passion for it. I loved it. So I kept pushing myself and digging and doing better and better. And after 100 videos or so, I actually got a little bit better. So I'm still trying to develop that skill and make videos that are better than the ones that I made yesterday. And I've been teaching people how to interview for jobs, and now I want to make videos that teach people how to be better, how to improve themselves, how to improve their lives, how to solve problems. Those are things that I enjoy doing, and much of what I teach are the things that I discovered in my own journey through my life. And I like to show people how I overcame tough problems, how I was faced with certain challenges and what I did with them. So if I can save someone the trouble of what I went through, then I want to do that. So that's really all I have for you today on this one. You have 4 steps to learning something new. You have to start off with a big why you want it, why it's important. Then you have to look to who you're going to study and model. Who are the experts? Find them, seek them out. I mean, you don't have to get them personally. That can be kind of hard, reaching out to Mark Cuban, asking him to coach you. But he has a lot of material out there on being an entrepreneur. Or if you're looking to improve, your tennis game, you can study some of the great tennis players. You have to start. And then after you find somebody, you have to immerse yourself. You have to be committed for at least 30 days. You have to keep pressing and digging and learning and conditioning yourself for 30 days. Otherwise, you're just dabbling. And then at the end, you have to apply it. If you don't apply what you learned, it's just going to vanish out of your mind and it'll be gone. I mean, maybe you'll retain a little bit of it, but it's through the application where you're teaching it to somebody, you're explaining it to somebody, you're implementing it, whatever it is. That application is going to hardwire it into your brain so that skill or that knowledge sticks with you, and you know it more than just intellectually, you know it cognitively, which means you can apply it, you can teach it, you can use it as a tool. So I hope these 4 steps have helped you kind of create maybe your own framework of, how you can learn new things and, to improve your life. So that is all I have for you today, my friend. I wish you all the best in your life, and I will see you in the next video. Take care. Bye now.